Speaking to Glen Warwick, fitness coach for Braintree Town. Very little to find about you on the internet. So, how old are you, Glen?
I'm 31 years old.
31. Where were you born?
I was born in Rush Green Hospital.
Who do you support?
Tottenham Hotspur, unfortunately.
I thought you were going to say West Ham. Says occupation, founder and head coach of OFit Health and Fitness Support.
Yes.
Good. So, what I don't know about is, did you play football before you were into
Yes, I did. So, I played for Ilford for quite a long time, for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Floated around a few clubs like Barkingside, teams like that, but ultimately injuries stopped me from playing any further.
Yeah.
Midweeks and training and stuff, it was taking 3-4 days to recover. So,
yeah. What was your position?
Centre mid predominantly.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I was all left foot, so I was on the wing. I used to be fast at one point. It very quickly changed. I moved to centre mid, and that's where I played.
Brilliant. So, what sort of injuries did you get?
Mainly ankles, to be honest. So I had a good part of 2 years out with ankle injuries, one after the other. I've broke both of them. I've got arthritis in both of them now, so obviously recovery is a bit of a struggle. So it gets harder and harder to get fit, keep fit.
Yeah. So how long have you been going down this fitness route? How long have you been running your business?
So I've got two sides to it. So the main side of it is gym management. So a lot of residential and commercial buildings around London.
Yeah.
I've got gyms in and stuff. So
Right.
I'll go in there, get the contracts for them, put a team in, get other ones. So that's the main side of it, which sort of allows me to work on this side of the bit, whereas some people say passion or whatever. I like both, but this is the bit I really want to do.
Right. How are you involved day to day with your business at the moment?
With Braintree.
No, with your own business.
Oh, so it's day to day, yeah. So at the moment, it's so I'll have staff that work in the gyms and stuff, and sort of CEO, but an area manager sort of is.
Yeah. So you're not doing the training yourself.
Pardon?
You're not doing the training yourself. Or?
Yeah. So I still coach as well. It's more the strength and conditioning side now. So working with different sort of athletes, up to recreational athletes, amateur, semi-pro, professional.
So it's just like one-to-ones and...
Yeah, it depends. So obviously a lot of my time's taken up Braintree now. Before that, I would usually go into teams and take over their pre-season for the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
And then the coaches gradually step in and take over. So I'll get them fit and then they can take over basically.
So was working in football something you always wanted to do?
In sport, I feel like when you was in college and stuff, it's like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And didn't really know, and it was something in sport.
Yeah.
Just wasn't quite sure. I don't think people that age very rarely have I want to do this, exactly that. It's quite rare it happens. So started off personal training, still enjoy it, but gradually got more and more involved in the strength and conditioning side of it. Yeah. Got qualified for it, and it's a lot more interesting than the day to day of I want to lose weight, I want to put on muscle. There's a lot more aspects to it.
Right. Good. So what or where would be your dream job?
Good question. Again, I don't know. Sometimes I think something will come up or something opportunity arises. I'm a big believer in sort of everything happens for a reason. That's quite an open comment, but I think it's true. So I never really got to say, right, I want to be there. Yeah. Because I might get there and it might be completely not what I thought it was. So.
Yeah. And how did you first meet Ryan?
I didn't meet him. So we've got friends of friends. I've never met him directly. And then he advertised on Twitter actually for a fitness coach at Braintree. And then our friends said, "Oh no, you have to get Glen in and stuff." Give him a phone call, come in the next week, and then it was love at first sight.
So, about the players we've got now, are they pretty good at looking after themselves?
Yeah, I feel
between
like
seasons, or is it something you're having to work harder with them?
So I feel like at this sort of level, everyone's got an invested interest of staying fit,
right,
and doing as much as they can. Lower levels, sometimes it's almost you've got to explain to them why they have to be fit, or sometimes they know but can't be bothered or haven't got the time or whatever, because you've got to face facts. Semi-professional, we're not full-time, so a lot of people got quite physical jobs. It's hard to do specifically what you need to do in the gym after, we've got some floor layers here that are on their knees all day, which is tough. But generally, I feel here, some of the job is telling players to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So they'll be, I don't know, if they're not training, they'll be in the gym. So all of a sudden they're training 7 days a week, and this whole sort of no days off attitude, it's not bad, but recovery is just as important as the work. So I'd actually say quite a bit of it is telling the players to calm down and do more specific stuff rather than just work.
So what condition were they in overall first training session?
Last season when I came in, so that was during the lockdown, or what period was that? I think it was like the second lockdown. I was still playing. Fairly fit because it was mid-season. A few players that were coming back from injury that were, especially during the winter, that were stiff or putting up with back injuries and things like nothing serious, but just stuff that you get after being out for a while.
Glen, been a pleasure. We'll see you Saturday.
Generally good condition. Lots of improvement for everyone, but everyone's different. You can have someone that needs to improve their endurance, someone that needs to be sharper. It's completely different, but overall, condition was pretty good.
So overall, do they then tend to respond well to fitness training?
Yeah,
Because I remember a lot of pros, especially at the top level, I mean, I support Villa, and Ron Saunders used to get players running up and down hills.
It's definitely changed a lot. So I feel like strength and conditioning has been in the elite level of sport for quite a while now, but as more and more people do it, it's sort of filtering down through the levels. It has changed to an extent, like there's a lot more specific fitness, which the players respond to well. But at the end of the day, you don't have the ball a lot during a game, whether you're a ball that holds possession or not. Individually, you hold the ball for, I think it's 3 or 4 minutes roughly. So the rest of the game, you're running. So unfortunately, if you can't run, you're not going to get very far in sport. So that still has to be a big part.
And have you got sort of different drills for training as compared to match day?
Yeah. So the warm-ups again. So we'll individualise the warm-ups as well. So as a game last year actually, Maidstone away, and this is the 3rd game in a row we played on 4G, and you could tell the players were a little bit not tired, but a little bit lagging and a little bit lack of energy. So we made the warm-up really short, loads of ball work, get a touch going straight away. Whereas other games, you can see they're not firing all cylinders, so we'll up the warm-up, get them working a lot harder before the balls come out. So it really depends. I think that's the best approach. You can't have a cookie-cutter approach where we do this every single week, regardless. It's boring and players don't respond to it.
Do you get to advise on diets or lifestyle choices, etc.?
Yeah. So again, a lot of them are pretty good with their food, but sometimes sort of misinformed with what's right and what's wrong. But overall, I've seen a lot of their food plans that I've got them to do, and they're not far off the mark. Some of them are probably under-eating for the amount they're training and working, and they're worried about putting on weight if they eat too much, which is not the case. Again, it's always the same answer. Everyone's different. It depends. It depends.
That's fine. When I interviewed Ryan, he was very appreciative of you when I spoke to him, and he says there won't be a fitter team at this level.
I hope so.
What do you think about that?
I hope so. Well, that's the aim. That's the aim. At the end of the day, if you're a team going away to someone or even at home, and you know they're not going to stop running, they're going to be at you for 90 minutes. It's daunting. It's a psychological battle that you want to win from the start. Right. If you're playing a team that you know is not that fit, you know eventually at some point in the game you're going to take over. So if you're the fittest team in the league, it's a good starting point. Yeah,
I mean that's part of the revolution we had when the Cowleys were here. They're really into their sports science, and their pre-season was completely different to anything they've been before. Yeah. And for a part-time team in a full-time league, nobody run down. They were there 90 minutes in their faces. So.
And all that would have been, they'd have been specific. So not everyone's doing the same thing. Obviously you train as a group for 80% of the time, but there'll be a lot of points where, okay, you can see he's lacking energy today. He can take it easy this session. He needs to up it and be specific with it. So, and I think if you show more individual care to the players, they're going to respond better rather than saying everyone's got to do this.
Do any players sort of slack off, and do you spot them and pull them for it?
No, do you know what? Weirdly, no. I've not. Well, maybe I've not noticed it yet. Maybe it's escaped my attention, but no, I couldn't pick one person that tries to get away with stuff. If anything, again, it's the opposite way. Right. They're trying to do too much too soon. It's the mentality of I need to do as much as I possibly can. And sometimes that's detrimental. It doesn't work as positively as you like to be if you're going to be trying to do as much as possible. But yeah, I'd say that's more what I've noticed. People need to tone it down a little bit and work harder in different areas rather than just overall.
Yeah.
How hard am I working?
Saturday against Dagenham, hot day.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of goals, lots of effort. You must have been pleased with the commitment and
Yeah,
the effort they put in.
It was. It started off like a league game, like there was points on the line, didn't it? It
Yeah.
was. Especially in that heat, it was surprising. It was surprising. But again, I could tell from the warm-up, even though the heat, there was all pretty concentrated, pretty sharp from the off.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot from warm-up how you're going to start a game.
Right.
But yeah, they looked good in the warm-up, but they did surprise me how we started. But credit to them, that's fantastic.
I mean, the match Dagenham didn't for 90 minutes, really.
Well, we watched the game back, the footage, and it was actually a lot closer than we thought from the sideline. And we all three of us said that, me, Maxie, Che, and Kiri as well said it. It looked a lot closer actually watching the film back. But again, pre-season's a funny one. You've got specific things to get out of it. We knew at that point players were now starting to get 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 Pennell and Jay played 90. But yeah, that was from my point of view, that was my aim. I knew players had to start getting 60 minutes now and we started building it up. But yeah, the actual intensity, even in training, the other night we was doing on Tuesday, we didn't have to tell anyone to up the intensity. It was 100%. It's brilliant. It's really good to work with. Really good.
So how close are we to kick-off fitness?
I would say, so if we've got like a progression, I'd say we're either bang on line or slightly ahead.
Right.
No one's behind. A few people got a little few injuries and stuff, but it's to be expected during pre-season.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man.
Good
Ryan.
man. And what will make you happy for the team this season?
We've been asked this quite a lot. I think we're happy being quietly confident.
Right.
I think that's the sort of approach we're having. We're not shouting. We're not talking about what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. We're quite happy being the perhaps not the underdogs, but we're quietly confident.
Brilliant. Glenn, that's it. Thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.